Hey, Stub Clubbers. Welcome back to another 25 Days of Disney. I'm Jennifer.
I'm Brian.
And today we're going to talk about Disney movies that got their own TV shows. Some of you might remember some of these and some of you might not. So this might be a watch list that some of you might want to go on Disney Plus and look these up yourself and watch them. So one of them that I'm going to bring up, I don't have much memory of it, but Hercules had its own TV show. Did you watch that?
Oh, yeah, I did. So here's a funny thing. When they did sequels, kind of, and they were like direct-to-video tape sequels for these movies, these big blockbusters like Tarzan and Hercules, what they actually were pilots for the TV shows.
Really?
They would have individual episodes, so they would have like specially made intros for.
Yeah. Okay, I know what you're talking about now. Yeah.
They would have specially made intros, like I believe the Hercules one, because I had this one, and I'm pretty sure I broke the tape because I watched it so much. He was talking to Megara about when they about moving into a new home, and he talks about how he went to school, and that's the whole premise of the TV show, is him going to school, which actually sounds like another TV show that's going to be brought up a little bit later.
And it looks like from the picture, it's Hercules before he became buff.
Yeah, he was a teenager.
Skinny Hercules.
And he was still strong as can be, but it's him going through school, meeting new friends, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Terrible show, honestly. It really was. It wasn't a good show at all, but it was enjoyable to watch because I was just a fan of Hercules.
That was on, it looks like 1998 and 1999.
Yeah, it wasn't a very long run TV show. Like Timon and Pumbaa had a longer franchise, I believe, coming off of Lion King.
So next, Aladdin had its own animated series. I don't know if I remember this at all. This animated series was in 1994, so this happened. That was a long time ago.
Yeah. They
94 and 95,
showed,
I believe.
They still showed like reruns of it on Toon Disney, if anybody remembers that, because they had like Bonkers on there and stuff like that. It was good. It really showed how these animation studios work, because they got somebody who sounded like Robin Williams to play Genie, but you could tell it was a very bad version of Genie.
So stupid when they did that. That was a pet peeve of mine when I was little. I hated that.
It was because they can't afford them. I mean,
they did it with Disney sequels. Disney sequels did that too. For that Mulan too, they couldn't get Eddie Murphy back to play Mushu, so they had this other guy like pretend to be him, and it's so obvious it's not him when you're an adult seeing a clip of it.
I mean, Mulan 2 was terrible anyway, so that's
I know. Julia brings it up all the time.
I believe it was still Aladdin after the first movie, because they had 3 sequels, which, by the way, the third movie of Aladdin is a better movie than the first one. It is the best movie, one of the best Disney movies I've ever seen. Prince of Thieves, so good.
Is that where they keep saying, "I'm finally getting married. We're finally getting married." It's that commercial when Jasmine and Aladdin get married and they make a big deal about it.
Maybe, but it's when he meets his father.
That I believe was after the Aladdin series, because they're talking about Aladdin series takes place after the original movie and its first sequel, The Return of Jafar.
Yep, because I don't think Jafar had anything to do with the third one. He might have made an appearance, but that was a great movie. But go ahead because I'm getting off track because now I'm talking about the only good Disney sequel I've ever seen.
Never mind. Lion King actually had 2 different animated series that came out of the movie. They had Timon and Pumbaa, that was for 5 seasons, 1995 to 1999, and then most recently, the newer Disney Channel had The Lion Guard.
Yeah, I mean, obviously I haven't seen The Lion Guard, but Timon and Pumbaa was one of my favorite shows because whenever I'd go over to my grandma's house, she'd always have us watching Disney. I couldn't watch Cartoon Network, even though I like that better. But but I grew to love Timon and Pumbaa and all those other shows. One of the ones that I remember personally was the Emperor's New School.
Yes.
I love that one because it was so.
Cusco, Cusco, go, go. He's on his way to the He's on his way. He's an emperor to be, and he's totally.
Yeah. I like because now thinking about it, I'm like, man, this is a really good concept because he just keeps turning into animals and you have to figure out how to like not be this animal. I like how they put Crunk. They actually made him fail again to go back to school.
It's
a really funny concept.
They got another dang person. David Spade did not come back as Cusco.
But there was the Emperor's New School, and then the other one that I really loved was Lilo and Stitch the series.
Yes. That was so good.
It almost like made it so that the second movie could come out easily because the entire series is about these other experiments, aliens coming to Earth, and there's different ways that they interact. It's almost you know what it's like. It's almost like Pokemon. You find out what this.
You're right. In every episode of Lilo and Stitch, the series, they would introduce to you a new experiment type of a thing. And there's always people, there's a joke online saying that if they would do a Pokemon Go, but for Lilo and Stitch, to catch the experiments.
Because then Lilo and Stitch 2 came out and they were looking for 625 or 627, whatever it was, because he's 626,
yeah, whatever.
Right? I didn't see that one, but the one I specifically remember, and I really want to talk about this one, is the Halloween episode, because Lilo dresses up as a princess, but she has a knife going through her head, and I'm like, oh my god, that's so creative. And
that sparks a memory somehow. I feel like I remember that.
I think
in that animated series, that girl was such a bitch. That like she had like the nose, like the round nose, and the glasses and the red hair.
Because she was mean in the actual movie too. She was horrible in the actual movie. But I remember the experiment. I can't remember which experiment it was. It might have been like 13 because 13's scary for Halloween. Made all the people's fears come true. And I'm like, oh my god, that's such a cool concept. And I think it only lasted like maybe 2 seasons, and it really should have like been a continuous series because there's 600 things to catch.
Lilo and Stitch, the series it aired for 2003 to 2006.
Yeah, so 3 seasons. Like how you can't catch 600 experiments through 3 seasons. Come on.
It said 2 seasons.
Oh,
and there was other shows that developed out of it or out of Lilo and Stitch in Japan. There was other ones too.
Oh, well, we didn't get those here.
Yeah. So next, there was a Little Mermaid animated series on the Disney Channel a long time ago. That was 1992 to 1994. There were 3 seasons. I want to say I might have a memory of maybe getting this out like on VHS, like a couple episodes from the library when I was little. But I didn't have the Disney Channel growing up, so I never watched it on that. But I know this was a popular series for kids our age when we were little to watch.
I think Amanda really liked that series, if I remember correctly. And my cousin loved that series because she would always get mad at me when I didn't want to watch it. I think Tangled got its own series, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, Tangled got one on the Disney Channel in most recent years. They got one. Another one is there was 2 different shows for 101 Dalmatians. Oh,
yeah, I remember that now too.
Their original 101 Dalmatians was released in 1961. Over 30 years later, in 1997, 101 Dalmatians began to air on TV. It aired for 2 seasons, 1997 and 1998. Then there was a second show that came out called 101 Dalmatian Street, loosely based off the film. It hasn't aired in the US yet, but on Disney Channel UK. I think I've heard that it is going to be coming over here. Let's see. Winnie the Pooh had a ton of different shows over the years. The Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh is going to be one that I feel like it was just the best.
That was my jam. That was my favorite. Because
it's me and it's you. Watch a good old Winnie the Pooh.
I remember, I think there was an episode where they went to the movies. I specifically remember this episode where they went to the movies and Pooh got caught in a bucket of popcorn, and he was in the bucket of popcorn for the entire time. There's also the Halloween ones. I always loved the holiday ones because those were always the most interesting ones to me. And I believe like they went into like almost a haunted house, and it was really just
they did so many good things on that show. I feel like that's always the one that pops into people's heads when you bring up this topic of movies that got their own TV shows. Another one I want to bring up that you touched upon this, where a movie would come out first and be the pilot, and then the TV show would happen. Buzz Lightyear of Star Command.
Yes, yep.
That came out as a movie first, and then it came a TV show. And I was so confused when I was looking at the air dates when I made this up. I'm like, wait a second, how did the first episode and the movie come out the same day? And then you said that. And I'm like, wait a minute, that movie introduced the whole series, and then they had it.
Disney's keen on that stuff. Because they also did it with Tarzan and Jane, even though the series never actually got off the ground. Which it really was not that good. It was actually pretty lackluster.
I think Tarzan and Jane might have been a movie. The Legend of Tarzan was the TV show.
Tarzan and Jane was the movie, and then they did the Tarzan TV show, and it was just horrible. I don't even think it lasted a season. I think it only lasted like maybe 5 or 6 episodes. But with the Buzz Lightyear Star Command, I completely forgot that had a movie. I knew it had a TV show, and I knew it had a video game too, because I always played the video game. But yeah, now I remember the Buzz Lightyear Star Command movie because I actually thought it was really awesome. I used to have the clamshell of it.
Now, I don't know if you watched this one, because I know you're a big Jungle Book fan. There was a TV show called Jungle Cubs and Tailspin, and that was based off of Jungle Book.
So Tailspin was weird because it had the same characters, but it wasn't the same story. Literally, Baloo was because Mowgli was just gone. You didn't never see him. Baloo was a pilot. He was an airplane pilot. And Shere Khan was still the bad guy, but he was more of a gangster. And literally, he was more of a gangster. I didn't watch Jungle Cubs. I don't remember that one. And I think King Louie was he was like a big time Vegas guy. Like he would chill in Vegas all the time.
I think we honestly hit the main ones. Of course, there's a couple we might have missed, but let us know in the comments if you remember watching any of these. Some of these have been put on Disney Plus. Of course, there's stuff we're still waiting on, but some of these hacks have been on Disney Plus. So go check that out.
I'm pretty sure Cusco, Lilo and Stitch, and The Little Mermaid is on there right now. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, there's stuff that's on there, and then there's stuff that Disney has not put on. So there's a chance that some of these we might have listed might not even be on there yet. So,
give my Dave the Barbarian. God, I want my Dave the Barbarian Disney, and I want my Brandy and Mr. Whiskers. You give me those TV shows.
Anyways, we will see you tomorrow on 25 Days of Disney. And yeah, we'll see you tomorrow. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Bye.
See you guys.